Welcome back to R.A.I.N. I am Sharif. For this video series, I will be covering reserving your rights. Alright, I would like to start off by reminding you guys of a little bit of information that I went over in previous videos, including the fact that the United States of America entity that you know of today is not the same entity that signed on to the Constitution 1789, nor is it the same entity that signed a Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the Empire of Morocco in 1836. All right, that entity, that signed those documents, that signed onto those documents, it was dissolved in 1933 with the Emergency Banking Act. Along with the Emergency Banking Act, you have Executive Order 6102 and you have House Joint Resolution 192. The people that are claiming to be U.S. citizens, you're actually not U.S. citizens, not the original U.S. citizens. Not at all, since that original entity is dissolved. So this United States of America entity is de facto, which is another term for illegal or illegitimate. Therefore, the people claiming that they are U.S. citizens are illegitimate also. And the rights that you think you have are actually privileges, because that original entity was dissolved. Everything that it contained was dissolved also. And that includes the original U.S. citizen. I would like to read a little bit from my book, Who Are You? Knowing Your Ancestors. Just a little bit about about 1933. The Executive Order 6102 basically made it illegal for the people to have gold. They took your gold away, and at that time it was $20.67 for 1 ounce of gold. They gave you 20 Federal Reserve notes and 67 cents for 1 ounce of gold. Then once they figured that they had all the people's gold, they raised the price to $35. Yeah, that was first instance of inflation. 1933. Also, the Emergency Banking Act, that was March 9th, 1933, dissolved the federal government and declared by President Roosevelt being bankrupt and insolvent. All right. House Joint Resolution 192, that was June 5th, 1933. And that was a joint resolution between both houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate, to suspend the gold standard and abrogate the gold clause, which dissolved the sovereign authority of the United States of America and the official capacities of all United States governmental offices, officers, and departments, and is further evidence that the United States federal government exists today in name only. All right? It exists today in name only. That was from 1933. I also want to read 76 Congress. This was in 1940. Congressional Records, 76 Congress, Session 3, House of Representatives, April 19th, 1940. In making this statement, Mr. Choate takes the position that Great Britain, or England, is our mother country, the same position that was taken by Cecil Rhodes over 50 years ago and by Andrew Carnegie in 1893, when he wrote a book entitled Triumphant Democracy. I want you to note particularly that this was in 1913, and that 1913 was the very year we changed our government from a republic to a semi-democracy. The year in which we destroyed constitutional government, international security, and paved the road for us to become a colony of the British Empire. It was also the same year in which we, by adopting the Federal Reserve Act, placed our treasury under the control and domination of the Bank of England and the international banking groups that are now financing the British-Israel movement in the United States. It was also the year preceding the World War, a war in which we became involved, as everyone knows, in 1917. But what everyone does not know is that we were committed to this war in 1910 and were to all intents and purposes in the war in 1914, when J.P. Morgan and Company began to finance the Triple Entente. This statement is borne out by Mr. J.P. Morgan's own testimony before the Senate committee investigating the munitions industry. All right, so that's your background on the United States of America entity being de facto, or you could say illegitimate or illegal. So therefore, U.S. citizens of today are illegitimate, they're illegal, they're de facto. This might ruffle a lot of people's feathers, but I mean, what can you do? I'm presenting the information, and it's from congressional records. Anyone could look it up. Or I like to say that another reason why I go over material over and over again is that I realize that people learn in different ways. Some people learn by doing their own research and reading and stuff like that, such as myself, and other people learn by listening to points of interest over and over and over again. So it's one of the reasons why I repeat a lot of the information that you might have heard in previous videos, just because people learn in different ways. Just looking over my notes. That's where I want to leave off with part 1 of reserving your rights, and I will see you in part 2. Peace.